job board. But then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/work. That's ZipRecruiter.com/work. ZipRecruiter.com/work.
Alerts across the country today with severe weather rolling through several states. ABC's Andrea Fujii.
The severe weather threat made its way into Arkansas last night, spawning a possible tornado in Garland County, about 45 miles west of Little Rock. The powerful winds knocking down trees, damaging at least 14 homes. Pictures showing damage inside a high school. Students in class at the time were directed to safe rooms. Outside, the school's football stadium torn apart. The lights, bleachers, and scoreboard ripped down.
Some scary moments for families in Uvalde, Texas at a local school. ABC's Jim Ryan says a suspicious man was spotted outside.
Uvalde's Dalton Elementary School is still on Christmas break, so only one person, a teacher, was supposed to be inside. But when police got a report of a man in black with a backpack entering a classroom,
any call that has come in post May 24th, we take them serious.
Uvalde Police Chief Daniel Rodriguez says no intruder was found. But for parents like Brett Cross,
it takes us right back to that day
when his child and 20 other people died at the hands of a gunman at Robb Elementary School. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Tennis legend Martina Navratilova says she's battling cancer again. She says she's been diagnosed with throat cancer and breast cancer, which she first fought in 2010. Navratilova, one of the winningest tennis players of all time, holds 18 Grand Slam titles and was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. This is ABC News.
Are you more than $10,000 in debt? Feel like you're on a never-ending treadmill, staying in one place and never getting ahead with those minimum payments? You feel like there's no way out? Get off the endless debt treadmill and start saving money each month. There are programs in place to help you get free of your debt, and you don't have to pay the entire amount you owe. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get debt-free in months instead of decades. Call Total Financial now at 800-208-1312. 800-208-1312.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
We're going to head into the upper 60s and mid-70s for today. Clouds will increase, and it's going to be a breezy one. Tonight, we're down into the mid-50s and lower 60s with scattered showers possible. We will see highs in the upper 60s and mid-70s tomorrow afternoon, and the line of showers and thunderstorms will move through. Some could be strong to severe for the afternoon and early evening. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We're gradually moving up the scale. We're now 55. We started out at 54. Should be climbing up to about 65 with rain starting this afternoon. It's 9:05. It's the third day of January, and you're listening to WCAB Rutherfordton.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
Well, it's good to start a brand new year with you, Butch, here in the Blue Room on My Great America.
You know, Jim, it's wonderful always to be here in the Blue Room with you. I was going back last night after I'd finished some time in God's Word, and I was looking at some of the very first programs we ever did. And, we're getting older.
Oh, no.
By the year. Yes, we are. But you know what? Let's believe that we're getting better with God's help. You know, it's a new year, Jim, and I penned some things in my journal that I had the opportunity to submit to the Daily Courier. And I thought if it's okay.
I'd love you to share that with the audience.
Okay. Well, maybe this is the way that we'll start the program this morning. Then we've got a giveaway, so you're going to want to make sure that you stay tuned. We've got something really exciting to give away today. And by the way, if you've won before, you're not eligible to win again. Jim and I were talking about that. But make sure that you stay tuned for the entire program. So, listen, if you haven't subscribed to the Daily Courier, we're encouraging people to subscribe, buy local, do things you can to encourage people in Rutherford County. I'm not saying I don't ever go to Walmart, but given the opportunity, I want to support a local business person.
Sure.
A woman or man that has their own enterprise. So, get a digital subscription to the Daily Courier. It's a way for you to stay in touch with what's going on. And, tucked away in today's paper, beyond all of the hoopla around a Spindale man that won the Powerball first million. And it's not going to be a million after the federal government and some other entities get their piece. Right underneath on the opinion page, page 4, there's a picture of my dear friend, Pat Jobe. And I actually mentioned him in the article. I mentioned you as well. I felt obliged is not the right word. I felt led to write something that reflected my heart. And Jim, it's really the heart of my great America. I know you well enough to know that this could be you that's writing this as well, with a couple of changes. So this is
well written.
This is what I wrote. Dear editor, we're soon to close the chapter on 2022. A new year of possibilities and promises await. Some souls remain stuck in the quicksand of second-guessing the 31,536,000 seconds they lived this past year. Joys, pain, love, loss, and the full gamut of human emotions were colored on the canvas of our collective lives here in Rutherford County. None of us are promised tomorrow. If we live to be 80, our miraculously created hearts will have beat more than 3 billion times. And as my dear adopted sister, Sandra Norris, often tells me, it's a choice what kind of attitude we walk through life with, which comes with her credibility of having taught at East Rutherford High School for 27 years. Often, toxic tirades on Facebook, Twitter, and even in huddled company water cooler conversations have a simple antidote. Walk away. Take your fingers off the keyboard. Take to heart the powerful truths found in Proverbs 15, 1 and 2. A soft and gentle and thoughtful answer turns away wrath, but harsh and painful and careless words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise speaks knowledge that is pleasing and acceptable, but the babbling mouth of fools spouts folly. Now, while some of our county folk prefer to stay stuck in the muddy ditches of complaints and negativity, I'm choosing to cultivate gardens of gratitude in my life in 2023, which is the quality of being thankful with a readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness. Sure, we have personal and county challenges that on dark days may seem insurmountable. It wouldn't be honest to put ostrich heads in the sand and pretend otherwise. But we're a resilient tribe with a rich history of hunkering down, putting leathered hands on the plow, and pressing into the winds of opposition to get the work done. Sitting recently in an oversized corner chair at WCAB within earshot of my soon-retiring friend Jim Bishop's phone calls, I scribbled out 7 things I'm so grateful for as the clock ticks and we inch into a new year. Number 1, the natural beauty and blessing of where we live. When moving here 5 years ago, I didn't fully appreciate the absolutely stunning geography. The array of mountains, streams, rivers, and timber, punctuated against stunning sunrises and sunsets, gives evidence to the verse in Psalms 19:1, where the writer pens, "The heavens are telling of the glory of God, and the expanse of heaven is declaring the work of his hands." We're blessed by simple beauty we should never take for granted. Number 2, the power of durable and life-giving friendships. My Swedish grandmother, who had 11 children, from which I'm the eldest of 44 cousins, often told me before dying, at the age of 99, you can laugh with anyone, but you cry with friends who weep with you too. I'm blessed to the core with people who daily leave sweet, indelible marks on my steady journey, and I'm richer because of their lives. Number 3, the health, hope, and healing found in my church. I came here depressed, distraught, and broken, Pieces of broken and shattered pottery are being refashioned and ultimately reformed into God's making. It's humbling, sometimes painful, and always glorious in the end. Number 4, the signs of economic health organizes itself here in our community. Recently, it was reported our county ranked number 17 out of North Carolina's 100 counties in terms of economic challenges. A full recovery from the deep wounds of a textile industry imploding and other factors suggesting Rutherford County may be treading water is now giving way to major new development projects like Property Works at the junction of 74 and 221 with a new Love's travel stop on the way. Added to this is robust occupancy in local hotels, waiting lists for apartments, and escalating housing demand. People and companies are finding the treasure of our area and moving here. The Third Rail Trail is just one example of positive change in the making. And having sampled the season's food, fellowship, and culture, new transplants are now calling this home. Just stop in any day at Small Town Coffee Roasters on Court Street, and you'll find a colorful cross-section of our emerging community. Number 5, the people who live daily lives of sacred sacrifice and service. A new sheriff, motivated county commissioners, school board, municipal leadership, and scores of first responders are suiting up and showing up to tirelessly lead us into a safer, healthier, and more inviting community. Partisan politics aside, we are in the end all neighbors, and I'm sensing a more collaborative spirit as hands and hearts are joined in common purpose. Number 6, the bedrock of our county's history and conservative values. My octogenarian and Ellenboro native friend, Bud Byers, survived a near-death experience this last year and is on the way back to full health. He's my personal historian and analyst on the transformation of our county, where we are now mostly a traditional values and strongly conservative Judeo-Christian community. We should civilly disagree and love each other in the end. I see the power of that promise through my own seemingly unlikely friendships. My relationship with Daily Courier columnist Pat Jobe is a personal example. We choose love in the face of obvious differences. And number 7, the promises of God. For me, the day begins and ends with only 2 assignments: to personally know God and his Son, Jesus, then make him known through word and deed each day. Everything else pales against these twin commands. The brevity of life and broad expanse of eternity keeps a north star of gratitude before me. Some unknown day, a gathering will take place where a few people will reflect on my time here on earth. As my pastor often says, a memorial service preaches the sermon of your life. Let's purpose together to be positive, encouraging, thoughtful, productive, and kind in 2023. In the end, it's simple acts of service that will be remembered, and nothing eclipses the power of the peace only God can give each of us. It's written of clearly in John's Gospel, chapter 16 and verse 33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have perfect peace. In the world, you have tribulation and distress and suffering, but be courageous, be confident, be undaunted, be filled with joy. I have overcome the world. My conquest is accomplished, my victory abiding.
That is so good. That is so good. That's right from your heart.
It is.
I can tell right from your heart. Well, that's why I wanted you to share that with our audience today, because everybody has not had a copy to see the Daily Courier. So thanks for reading that to us.
You know, Jim, it's so interesting when God prompts me to write something in my journal like this. I often think it's almost as if you and I are writing it together. I've gotten to know your heart over these recent years, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for your mentorship and your leadership, your impact on the county that you continue to have. I've had some people ask, "Hey, Jim's still there?" And I just wanted to let you know, it's not an easy thing you've got FCC requirements, legal requirements, financial issues, staffing issues, programming. You got all those things. So he's not like the pastor that has a new pastor that comes in and is jumping up on Sunday morning saying, "Hey, I got something I want to preach." He's not doing that. It's just working out a couple of details, and right?
Yeah, and it's not like selling a regular business. It's not like selling a car lot or a regular business. That transaction happens between the buyer and the seller, and
right.
in the legal team.
Yes.
But anything has to do with broadcasting has to go through the government. They have Federal Communications Commission, which their lawyers and our lawyers all together has to prove everything. So it's not a simple dot the I and cross the T's.
Right. But for those of you who have asked, the plan is there, the path is there. There are great days ahead for WCAB, and we're looking forward to, as God allows, continuing our fellowship and our friendship on Tuesdays.
And until I leave, I'm accepting all hugs.
Yeah, Tuesdays is there. That's right. And for those of you that missed out on the opportunity to tell Jim how much he means to you, you still have that opportunity. And I've watched him so many times with, a schedule where he's got things he needs to do. But when someone walks through that door and you hear the sound of the chimes that Lou put up there, announcing the presence of somebody coming in, a lot of days you don't know who it is that's walking in the door. But here's what I do know. They are motivated to get time with a broad smile and a warm heart. As soon as they come into the door, right to the right is Jim Bishop's office. And so if you haven't had the chance to tell him how much WCAB means to you, how much he personally means to you, there's still that opportunity. And it's not as if you're being transported to some other place. There's some people that retire and then they disappear from the county.
Right. I'll be here.
Right. And by the way, just real quickly, I was invited as a guest to the local Kiwanis Club.
Yes.
And that was a wonderful gathering of people. I really enjoyed it. And so if you're a woman or a man and you have interest in the community and you've got your own perspectives on how to make it better, the Kiwanis is a great place to do that, isn't it?
It's a great organization helping children, and that's what our projects are. Any money that's raised goes to help children and young people, school age, college age scholarships, and playground equipment, those kind of things. That's what we do.
Well, and it brought back memories of Warwick High School in Newport News, Virginia, where I was a member of the Key Club. And
Yes.
Key, the acronym is Kiwanis Encourages Youth. And I remember part of my Wheaton College education came from winning the oratorical contest that I don't think they have it anymore, but they did back in the day. So every single one of you that listens to My Great America, you have gifts and abilities God gave you.
Yes.
And we have a stewardship responsibility to take those. It's different. I've watched people, I look at my friends like John O'Keefe or Ray Farmer or, others that are so Chris Carlson, so incredibly skilled in walking into a home and seeing everything that's possible. We can knock out that wall. We can rewire. We can change this. We can put a new set of stairs there. God gave them the gifts and abilities to see that. Those aren't my gifts and abilities. There are many times I wish they were. But God gave me gifts and abilities that are different, and you as well. So it's our responsibility to be good neighbors, be good citizens, and be involved, isn't it?
I'll give him a little plug. I would not make a decision based on anything to do with my house and remodeling or fixing up or repairing without calling Chris Carlson first.
Yeah, and here's an interesting, we need to be careful not to let the rabbits out and chase rabbits that we shouldn't be chasing. Here's an quick interesting story. Okay, so I had not been here very long, and the prison ministry back in the day had a banquet. The prison ministry used to have a banquet. And I hadn't been here very long, and when I came, Jim, I weighed 60 or 70 pounds more than I do now. Maybe, I don't know, I've gained some, so I need to adjust that number. But I had shoulder-length hair, and I looked like a Harley biker guy, and then God started to work on my heart. But Chris Carlson and I actually met in the early 80s because I was a youth pastor at Tabernacle Church in Norfolk. I was going to law school after Wheaton College, but my dad was really sick, and my mom said, "Can you help me with him?" So I put those plans on hold, which is why I never became an attorney, which was my path in life. And but I had to do something, and so I was actually surfing with a friend with my shoulder-length hair out at the Outer Banks, and we were sleeping on the beach, and he had a blue Ford truck that he had refurbished. And I was eating bologna sandwiches and out on the beach when one of the deacons from Tabernacle Church in Norfolk, which was my church, they needed a youth pastor. And so they went to find me out on the beach with my friend David Crane. Found me. I've got shoulder-length hair. And he said, we need a youth pastor. Would you consider that? And I still remember him telling me it's $8,850 a year, and we'll give you a little housing allowance, and we think you'd be good. Well, I never even had a Christian education class. I went to a Christian college, and for some reason, I felt prompted to say yes. He did say you have to cut your hair. And so I cut my hair, and I became the youth pastor. This relates to Chris Carlson. So I got to know Chris Carlson because Norfolk Christian Schools, which was a pioneer in the whole Christian school movement, John Dunlap and Gene Garrick, the co-pastors, actually founded something called the Association of Christian Schools International. It is the association, ACSI, for Christian schools now around the world. And so I became the youth pastor. Well, one of the people, the students at Norfolk Christian Schools who had a relationship with Tabernacle Church at Norfolk, where I was the youth pastor, was a young guy named Chris Carlson.
Really?
And so I met Chris back then, and Olaf and Sally, his parents, his dad was a fighter pilot in the Navy, flew in Vietnam, did hundreds of carrier operations and sorties. His dad and mom knew my dad and mom because my dad was in the Air Force. So flash forward to 2018. I think it was early 2000. It was some not long after I'd come here. And we're at the prison banquet, and Chris Carlson looked down at my name badge and said, Butch Maltby? I said, yes. Like Butch Maltby from Tidewater, Virginia? I said, yes. So we had this reunion that happened. I was bigger, and my hair was long. He didn't recognize me, even though I'd been here for a little while. So
wow.
Anyway, and God really used that to encourage me, because at one point I was saying to myself, where have I come, and what am I doing here? But God used that. All right, that was a story I didn't expect to do. Let's go ahead and do our giveaway. Let me tell you real quickly what we're going to give away this morning.
Okay.
There is a beekeeper in Chevy, and he moves his hives around so you get different flavors. And so this is an apple blossom honey flavor, and this is a poplar flavor. And the reason is because the bees go out into different places that he puts the movable hives into. So we're going to give that away. Then, and this is a celebration in the new year of local businesses, a local beekeeper in Chevy. This is a wooden pen, beautiful wooden pen, and part of the Mennonite community, there's a boy, I think he's 10. He makes these. And I was so impressed with his handiwork. I want to give one of those away. It's a gorgeous pen, heavy. Feel that.
Yeah.
All right, so Jim, with our 5 minutes that we have left, can you go ahead and tell us the details of the giveaway? We're going to give both of the honeys and the pen as a celebration of local businesses.
If you won anything in the past 30 days, not eligible to win this time, but you'll call 287-3356, 287-3356, and be caller number 5. Caller number 5, the ladies out in the front will answer your phone call and let us know who that is. Caller number 5 at 287-3356. If you haven't won anything lately, you can call to be eligible to win.
That's 287-3356. And real quickly, these are in beautiful glass containers with the cork on top. These are specialty boutique honeys. One is apple blossom and the other is poplar. And then this pen is a gorgeous pen made by a 10-year-old boy. It's heavy, and it's a reflection of the Mennonite and Amish communities that we have here. Both of these are a celebration of small businesses here in the local county.
The phone is ringing.
The phone is ringing, so make sure, 287-3356, make sure that you call in. Now, Jim, as we approach the new year, we're going to make sure that our content for My Great America this coming year goes to a deeper level. You know, when we started this, after you and I had a conversation over at Small Town Coffee there on Court Street, we said we wanted to focus on the positive, encouraging, God-driven expressions of what this county is all about. And in the face of tremendous negativity, we want to be a megaphone of encouragement. None of that's changed, has it?
No, it hasn't. Still want to drive forward in that respect.
Right, and we want for all the people that have never really come to understand the reality that our country was founded, our Judeo-Christian nation was founded on biblical principles. I want you to remember, please remember, the words of some of our founding fathers. As a benediction this morning, I want to make sure that you remember our nation was founded on biblical principles. Did we have a winner?
Have a winner. Geraldine Lane. Geraldine Lane is a winner.
Geraldine Lane is the winner. You know what, folks? We're going to try to do these giveaways as an expression of positive things in the county. You're going to love these honeys in that pen. It's incredible. Now listen to this. Here's a sample. You know, the word conviction is so important. We've been talking about that at my church, Word of Faith Fellowship. Our behavior needs to grow out of our convictions. And our convictions, Jim, come from understanding truth. And the place that we get truth from that's unshakable is God's Word. Listen to some of the convictions of some of our founding fathers. Listen to this. Patrick Henry, it cannot be emphasized too clearly and too often that this nation was founded not by religionists, but by Christians, not on religion, but on the gospel of Jesus Christ. Can you imagine a congressman or woman standing up in Congress and saying that today?
Oh.
That's what Patrick Henry said. John Hancock, we all know about John Hancock. Principally and first of all, I give and recommend my soul into the hands of God that gave it, and my body I recommend to the earth, nothing doubting, but at the general resurrection I shall receive the same again by the mercy and power of God. John Hancock. John Jay, providence is given to our people the choice of their rulers, and it is the duty as well as the privilege and interest of our Christian nation to select and prefer Christians for their rulers. Can you imagine what would happen if somebody stood up and said that?
Wow.
You had AOC or somebody on the left, or even waffling Republicans. Can you imagine what they would say? Two more real quickly. Henry Knox. He was a Revolutionary War general. This is when generals fought. They didn't pass out textbooks telling you what kind of pronouns to use. To the supreme head of the universe, to that great and tremendous Jehovah, who created the universal frame of nature, worlds, and systems in numbers infinite, to this awfully sublime being do I resign my spirit and unlimited confidence only of his mercy and protection. And then finally, Charles Carroll, he was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Without morals, a republic cannot subsist any length of time. They therefore, who are decrying the Christian religion, whose morality is sublime and pure, they are undermining the solid foundation of morals, which is the best security for the duration of America. This is what our founders said. So for everybody that wants to rewrite history, get back into the book, most important book, God's Eternal Word, and get back into remembering what our history is all about.
Examples to follow. God bless America.
God bless America, Jim.